I suffer from ME. 16 years ago, I suffered quite badly. I was in a wheelchair for a year, bedbound for a year and then a wheelchair for a year, and then had the most amazing blessing of a healing at St Andrew's Church, Stabbeck, where I came out of a wheelchair and was basically dancing around the church, which was just a miracle. And then a year ago, just over, again a really bad relapse, probably the worst for 16 years. So sort of been housebound really for a year, just starting to venture out now. So it's been a tough year, but I am very fortunate that I have Jesus in my life, and he is my strength, and I rely on him wholly. In fact, probably more this last year. I've sort of, he's used that time to go deeper into my relationship with him. It's a blessing.
So presumably you've prayed a lot for healing and been prayed for?
Oh yeah. I'm in just a brilliant house group who are so faithful with their prayers for me and my healing, and a fantastic church family that constantly are praying and are so faithful in their prayers.
Do you struggle with why you haven't been healed?
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't get frustrated and I don't have a good rant at God, but I figure that he's got broad shoulders and that he knows what I'm thinking before I even say it anyway, so I might as well be honest with him and be real. So yes, there are days where I think, why? And then he'll just gently remind me of something or some way that he's used me in this time. So there are days, that are tough and you just ask him why, and then other days where he just gently reminds you that he's in control. Also, I think the struggle sometimes is people get very frustrated and they get impatient because God hasn't healed, and they get disheartened, and sometimes that's tough. Whereas I've learned patience. I've had to learn patience and complete and utter trust.
Do you think there's a time when you just should stop praying for healing?
No. Jesus has constantly reminded me this last year, keep knocking on my door, keep pressing in, and that's what we have to do. You can't give up the minute your prayers don't get answered. You can't, because he knows best. He says in Romans that in our life he will use all of it for good to fulfill his plans. And so we don't know best, and it's hard, but we have to trust that he's got it all figured out. I don't know if it's right or not. I ask for his timing and his will for when he wants, to heal me. But I don't think that he's making me suffer. He's not making me suffer, because he's using this time. So my prayers are for him to heal me when it's his time, and when he's got it all figured out, and when it's the right time for him, and that he will use this time to bring glory to his name. I would say that being a Christian unfortunately doesn't make us immune from suffering. We are made in Jesus' image, and Jesus suffered for us. He died on the cross that each and every one of us, our sins can be forgiven. So because we are made in his image, unfortunately, there will be suffering, but the difference is that when you have Jesus in your heart, he's never going to leave you. And that those tough times, that whatever you're facing, he's there beside you. On the tough days, tell him how bad you feel. And on the good days, thank him for the tiny blessing that he might have given you that day. It might be the smallest thing, but just be thankful for the tiniest thing as well. So I would just say to be constantly talking to him, constantly being real and being honest with him how you feel. And just knowing that you're never alone. He's never going to, he won't leave you. He's always sat beside you. Do I accept my illness? Yeah, I accept my illness. It won't last forever. It won't last forever. I accept it. But, you know, this is just a short period of my life. And, you know, I know that he's already using this time anyway. And I've grown so much in my faith in a year. And I've seen how other people's faiths around me have grown. So that's a privilege, and that's, you know, amazing. Amazing. Be still and know that I'm your God. That just, I've realised that it's not about doing. It's actually about just being, and just being in his presence. And that's, yeah, it carries me through, and he just constantly is just reminding me that he's still there, that I'm not on my own. And so those days that I, you know, don't feel like getting out of bed because I'm in so much pain, I just ask for his strength. And he is my strength. He is the rock that I rely on. And that's something I've had to learn, that I just totally and utterly have to rely on him.